Okay, so Maul Shadow Lord, episode 3, episode 4. It is me, Jonathan. We have Daniel here too. Already right away, there's a lot of things going off the top of my head. I mean,
Mhm.
Maul and Devin, Maul Master Manipulator. Honestly, you about to see some
Oh, yeah.
more. But what are some of your immediate reactions that you have for this week's episodes?
Yeah, I mean, I just watched them literally, like, probably an hour or so ago just to make sure I was caught up in time. Uh, I thought it was really solid. I liked especially, yeah, the Maul and Devin kinda interactions and also just how Maul and Dario or Vario or whatever, they're kind of all manipulating at different levels in different ways. A lot of subversion and subterfuge going on, what with the killing of the Pike Syndicate leader, and Um, it was cool seeing the criminal bad guys, fighting each other, but also like trying to avoid the empire and the local government at the same time. It was just kind of a fun combination.
Yeah, Vario reminds me of the Penguin. He's he's a less successful version of the Penguin in the Star
Hmm.
Wars universe. And the things that I think about just off the top of my head, just leading into these two episodes, is the dynamic between Maul and Devin. They're not giving it to you all like, oh, Devin's gonna turn immediately. I don't think we're
Hmm.
it's not gonna be something where I expect like a full on, oh, fully embrace the dark side, but kind of an
Hmm.
implementation of some of that ideology we see there. It's almost gonna be similar to like in the Ahsoka show, how Anakin was teaching Ahsoka to accept more just kind of more maybe darker version of that, trying to teach those lessons in Maul's own fashion. And just thinking about episode 3 in itself specifically, what was your reaction to that episode?
Yeah, I mean, episode three. I'm trying to remember all kind of where it ended and where episode four began because I did just watch them back to back. But like, especially kind of the introductions of Uncle Docky, meeting with
Yeah.
Lawson and be like, we both know I'm a Jedi, but we're just gonna pretend I'm just some random guy. Uh, I enjoyed kind of the setup and Lawson's character arc. Kind of they across both episodes, but especially at the beginning of the third one, they really set up like he does not want to deal with with the Empire, and he does not want the Empire coming because he knows the Empire won't leave if they show up. I thought that was a cool motivation for like a law enforcement character to not want to follow protocol specifically because he knows that the protocol will be used for political gain to create an oppressive system.
Yeah, and it helps sets the tone once again of how the Empire is, how much of a force it is, how people are scared of it too. You've seen it in other types of mediums too. But then we have Mr. Two Boots, Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Mhm.
Yeah, dad joke of the day. Dad joke of the day. So Mr. Goody Two Shoes himself, he's recommending we should contact the Empire, which is the logical thing to do. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
droid. Of course, the droid's gonna have that mentality. But it's also interesting to how you also see the relationship between um, Vario and also to how just small screw feels about him. They do not take this man seriously at all. He is just a
Oh, yeah.
pawn. He is just a pawn for them too, and how there's always a pecking order in these type of underworld dealings. And then I'm also thinking about too how Lawson with his son. I love that they keep implementing that dynamic there to humanize
Yeah.
Lawson because he's meant to be one of the good guys in the show, in the villain show, and how his responsibilities are taking time away from his son, and I'm wondering how that's going to continue, how that friction of building it up, they're slowly building it up
Yeah.
over time, how that's going to change things too. And then even talking about Devin herself, how Maul was bringing up some interesting points about how you're a Jedi, you survived, you're not taking advantage of this opportunity. And Devin was a Padawan. She was young when this thing happened, when Order 66 happened. And so she is dealing with things, and how it's always interesting how these things work. How even when they have their lightsaber fight, Devin has to tap into her anger in
Yeah.
order to get the one up on Maul, and how that's just a window. This is just a window of that there too. How she has to tap into that mentality. So Curious how Maul's going to continue to implement her in a way in his plan over time too. And also too, it's also interesting how the Maul still has, I like how he still has the double blade, of course, how that's
Mhm.
still a feature of Maul, him with his two blades, and how I'll need that back, Devin. That's damn,
Yeah,
that
and
we're
he combined them 2 to the double saber, like, that was really cool for the whole, like, reveal when they catch the Pike Syndicate catches Maul, and they're like, "Oh, we got him." And then, that was all just Maul intentionally setting it up with Vario kinda covering for him so that he could come in and just kind of kill all the Pike leaders. I thought that was cool because it was just a cool reveal. I was like, "Dang, they got Maul. This could be an interesting scene. How are they gonna?" And it's like, "Oh, they didn't." Uh, but also like he had one of the lightsabers. So like, if you're paying attention, you wouldn't notice. Wait, why is Maul only fighting with one saber instead of the double saber? And it was a cool kind of fake out, and I it got me. So I appreciate that they did it in a clever enough no a clever enough way that didn't feel like forced.
yeah, and even also too, it's kind of talking more about like episode four, how you mentioned that with Maul, and there's that Trojan horse concept there, which Star Wars tends to see they love doing that. I mean, Return of the Jedi is a classic example of that, but this slimy Wario, Mr. Penguin himself, and there was even little moments where I thought is not necessarily before the reveal that it wasn't Maul, but oh, here's Maul in the back. But even when Maul was fighting, even the look on Vario's face, I thought, is there a little bit of a he might try to betray Maul in the future? I don't know if they were gonna hint
Oh,
towards
no, you
that
definitely
because
can't trust him to be
yeah,
on any side other than his own. I think
yeah,
that's integral to the character for sure.
yeah, he was grinning a little too hard for me, like doing all this, like no, no, sir, get that
Mhm.
off my screen, get that off my screen now, even if it is 4K, get it off my screen. And even also to the fact that Maul's on his revenge mission. The continuous cycle of Maul wanting to get revenge, whether that's Obi-Wan, whether in this case it's Palpatine, just in a grander scale, and the shot of him making Colt, like asking his what Colt's name is, and he says his name. Okay, you're the leader now, but you answer to me. So you're
Yeah,
so that will help set the tone for that atmosphere too. How Maul's climbing back up to power, and then
yeah.
even also too going back what I saw, going back to Lawson, how he's still doing his investigation because he gets a tip from Uncle Docky. How we mentioned Uncle Docky too, and how
Mhm.
he's trying to locate Maul. They get information too. We have Mr. Two Boots, Mr. Goody Two Shoes himself saying, "Let's contact the Empire once again." He had a
And
good,
actually goes over Lawson's head and stuff too, which, like, honestly, yeah, like, I appreciate that character doing that because it is what I think is the, like, call that you're supposed to like, obviously, it's the protocol, but also, like, as we see with Lawson's attempted sting, like, it doesn't work. He gets a ton of people killed or injured pretty horribly and gets no closer to capturing Maul. Uh, so, like, we're supposed to root for Lawson and, like, think what he's doing is, like, the moral thing, but, like, is what he's doing actually right? Like, the Empire's bad, yes, but the law enforcement team themselves is not equipped to handle Maul. So I love that kind of moral dilemma that it poses because neither answer is the right one. Like, the Empire is bad news. Going after Maul yourself is reckless. Like, they're both bad choices, and I appreciate that kind of structure for kind of setting how the characters' motivations go.
yeah, and that helps bring an overarching tension to the show too, because you know what the Empire is. He knows what the Empire is. You don't want their help, but you know they're kind of the best equipped to deal with the situation. But once they get involved, they're going to impose more rule of law upon the situation. And you've seen how they've done things on their planets too, so you don't
Yeah.
want that. And even Maul, he was making the pitch to Lost and how making a deal like to be cooperative. You let me do my thing. You let me do my space too. Don't bring in the Empire too. Where he Maul, what he likes to do when he tries to manipulate people, he always tries to bring up a common interest involved. Like, oh, in this case,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and he appeals to, like, their like, the good nature of them and tries to twist it into a bad outcome, which I love for a villain, like a tempting villain like that. to where you actually kind of like you get what Maul's saying. Like what he says makes sense. He is also a horrible criminal warlord who's rising the ranks and killing off a ton of people, but he's doing so to stop the Empire. It's like you kind of get that. It's like yeah, the Empire sucks, but it's just yeah, he does a good job of being that kind of like. I mean, he learned from his master Palpatine for sure. Like how to get someone to join the dark side is to first start them with a like noble goal and kind of keep corrupting that as much as he can.
Yeah. What was your reaction to the lightsaber fights with, especially with Maul and once again fighting a master and once again master and a Padawan? That's just a staple of Maul.
Yeah, no, I definitely got episode 1 vibes, like Star Wars Phantom Menace. Uh, I thought they were fine. Like, I wasn't, like, super gripped one the way or another, but that's just because 'cause I've seen so many lightsaber fights at this point across all the different shows, and the stuff I like most about the show is actually the talking and the, like, kind of criminal underworld politics. Like, I find that stuff more interesting, but I thought the fight scenes were well choreographed, and I did like the callback to Phantom Menace with a master and a Padawan fighting
Mm.
against Maul at the same time.
Yeah. Did you think Daki was gonna die during
Oh
that
yeah,
fight?
well, I'm not convinced he hasn't like he isn't dying right now. Like they really played up how hurt he was for just getting kicked. So I'm curious to see where that goes. But um, I mean, with the Empire coming, I can't imagine he's long for the world either.
Yeah. And kind of setting him up like almost like that, not necessarily like Qui-Gon type figure, but almost
Mhm,
something similar to that too, except more depth and more drawn out to it. And I like the fact that he was able to hold his own and Devin had to save her master, and even Maul had that comment for her about how it was a good thing that she was there for her master.
mhm,
Because I'm thinking, is there going to be a tension moment within the fight? But we see Devin still aligned for now with the light side of the Force, and even also too, it also reminds me too like Ahsoka and Maul interactions in the Clone Wars,
mhm.
where Maul's tried that same manipulation during a fight with Ahsoka.
Yeah, this is not the first time he's tried to convince a young woman to join his evil criminal empire because she had the ability to use the Force and carry a lightsaber. Like this is not Maul's first rodeo by any means, in the corrupting a Padawan business.
Yeah, we're gonna check in on Maul. There's always gonna have those Padawans, like just like his master, just like his master,
Yeah,
just like good
yeah.
old Palpatine. Which that'll I just wonder how much of Palpatine they hit his own Palpatine like isms, how that's gonna change over time, how he's
Hmm.
gonna implement that more too. But yeah, the lightsaber fights I did enjoy them too. I'm always a sucker for good lightsaber fights. That's especially in animation form where they can do
Oh
more
yeah,
creativity with it too. Um,
animation I think is the best medium for a lightsaber fight by a
it can most
pretty
definitely,
long gap.
most definitely, and even talking about the animation itself, I love the animation style, but this is a well animated show. I mean, at least from the animated Star Wars shows I've seen, they tend to be well animated. I don't have much
Mhm.
gripes about, oh, look at the quality here, oh, this texture here, this lighting here. Not doing all of that.
Oh no, they're very professionally done for sure.
Yeah, very professionally done too. So, and even also too, even when you have that moment where Tubit's Collins in the Empire and Lawson's talking to the other officer and the reinforcements too, and just that
Mhm.
ending shot of
Of the Star
that
Destroyer.
Star Destroyer coming over
I'm
the
excited
planet.
to see, yeah, like the Empire more engaged in the Clone Wars animation style because we may have gotten a little bit during some of those like Tales of series. I don't remember, but the Clone Wars art style I do like a lot better than the Rebels art style. So I'm excited to see some of this like original trilogy era stuff showcased in the Clone Wars art style and lighting and stuff.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that shot, I just remember all the conversations we had in the past about different Star Wars ships. As soon as I saw that scene there too, just a classic shot and it's
Hmm.
well done too, and sense of things are ominous and Empire like Maul back on the Empire's radar more too. I love hearing that too, and
Hmm.
just how it's gonna
Like the
go.
notes of the Imperial March and the like alarm sound, like
Mm.
they definitely knew what they were playing into with the Star Destroyer's arrival, and I will say that is, I think, the thing that the show's strongest at right now.
Mhm.
Like, it's got good cliffhangers. Like, they've every time an episode ends, I'm like, "What? No, no, you can't end it there." And as much as I hate it, like, I really appreciate a show doing that because shows don't do that
Yeah.
as much anymore, or when they try to, it just doesn't have the effect they're wanting. But this one, even if like there are individual parts within the episode that I'm like, this is good, but it's not like, the best thing I've ever seen. It's still compelling and consistent. And then the cliffhangers always get me. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, let's
Mhm.
go. So I think that's something that especially this show has done better than any of the other Star Wars shows I've seen is cliffhanger endings for episodes in a fun way that
Mm.
then gets resolved, at the next episode.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that because even talking about the cliffhangers and leaving you wanting more, I don't know if Disney already knew what their release strategy was gonna be when they were making the show, or there's something they decided afterwards.
I would have to
But
imagine it was built in because
yeah,
the episode 2 cliffhangers are bigger than the episode 1 cliffhangers each week.
yeah. I appreciate when a show, even though yes, you know it's on streaming, sometimes depending on the show, whatever it is, they might release in batches, they might release week to week, but each episode still has its own cliffhanger, get you wanting to watch more. Because I've watched some shows where yeah, you can clearly tell they're just kind of like, yeah, we're expecting you to watch the next episode, so we're not gonna care much about enticing you to watch it because we're gonna assume you're gonna have
Yeah,
this
it's
auto.
the, like, made to binge TV, like, kinda the
Yeah.
difference between our kinda, what we grew up with, traditional television shows, which would have been actually, aired on a cable or dish network and, would have a weekly new episode, stuff like that. Like, we've lost, I think, a lot of that styling of storytelling in the move to the streaming age, especially as we've had a lot more shows do either batch drops or they're just made and they'll do weekly, but they're expecting it, like, to just be watched binge style once it's released so they don't tap as much into it. I appreciate that this show can kind of keep that old school vibe, which I mean, Clone Wars was on cable. That
Cartoon
was
Network, yeah.
prior to the streaming is when Clone Wars originally came out. So, I appreciate that it does keep that same kind of energy of television that we grew up with, and I kind of hope we can see some return to that for other shows too, just kind of in the modern age.
Oh yeah, most definitely too, kind of keeping that consistency there too, which I hope they can do with the show. Are
Mhm.
there any like predictions that you have for the next 2 episodes coming out next week?
Honestly, not a whole lot. I think it's pretty clear that Master Daki is gonna die at some point to be like Devin's kind of big turn to the dark side. Um, I'm gonna be really surprised and impressed if he doesn't die. Actually, like that's I am expecting him to die, but I am hoping he won't, just because it would be a subversion of what we would expect, and I feel like they could do something interesting that way. Um, But as far as, like, predictions go, I mean, they give me more lightsabers. We're gonna see the Inquisitor show up soon because we know,
Mhm.
fifth or first brother or whatever's in this, and, maybe we'll get to find out why he was a fart in a jar in the Ahsoka show, why he turned into green mist the second he died. Maybe they'll like, please tell us anything about that character. So that's my prediction is they'll try to give some context to that character at least.
Oh yeah, big thing for me, Lawson. You're gonna get consequences. He might get put on the shelf for a while, and I would not be surprised if he has this because he's put on the shelf for a while. That makes him spend more time with his son, more bonding with the son.
I I think it's gonna be the opposite. I think because of what he did, I think the son is gonna turn to the Empire. And
Ooh,
I think that might be the thing that breaks Lawson and makes him seek out the rebellion. Because I feel like we're gonna see Lawson become a rebel by the end of this. Uh, and the son mentioned going to his mom's, and then this last episode we got a note that,
oh
or like
yeah.
we kind of got that lore drop that like his ex-wife is part of the Empire or separated or whatever. Like the mother of his kid is now like in the imperial like government. I think we're gonna see the son follow his mom's footsteps
Mm,
because his dad disappointed him and
mm,
keeps like letting him down.
yeah.
And then I think for Lawson, we might see that as like the final thing that makes him actually just fully rebel against the Empire.
Yeah, for me, it's more so he spends more time with his son to try to connect, but there's a disconnect in the attempt to connect. If
Hmm.
you follow me, and so that creates more of a tension there. And it's good that you mentioned that too about the mom because I'm one. When are we going to see her? Are we going to see her in this show? I hope we do see her real soon. These next few
Yeah.
episodes. What is her character's name? Is it someone we've
Even if
heard
we
of?
don't, like, I don't think she needs to show up because I think the point of her as a character is her absence from the like life of Lawson and kind of how that puts Lawson's son into kind of that awkward situation of kind of having parents in two different places.
Mm,
Um, it'd be cool to see her show up for sure. Like, I'm curious if that's the route they're gonna go, but I don't know if it's necessary for the story either.
yeah. I'm thinking of it, envisioning it more like a season one finale. You're wrapping up different characters' arcs. The music's
Hmm.
playing. Either it's a call or he goes on a ship, and you kind of see the mom. And it's kind of something like
Yeah,
that,
and she's
something
what?
like
She's like
that.
the seventh sister Inquisitor or something crazy.
If the mom wasn't Inquisitor, that would be a crazy. I would not
That'd be
expect that if the
insane.
mom wasn't Inquisitor.
I don't think that would be it, but that would be
That's
if I just called that shot here now and that turns out true, that will be insane.
yeah. The clip this. We'll clip this prediction right here too.
This is
Are
not a
there
prediction, no. Say it would be wild if.
are there any concerns that you have of the show from what you've seen so far, or
Not
kind of
really. Like it I hope it stays pretty self-contained. Like it's done a good job of not trying to be like, and this is a part of the bigger universe because this happens and this happens and this happens, and it's just telling the story about Maul and Devon. And I hope this show just keeps that focus on it's telling the story of the characters, not how these characters alter the entire connected universe of television shows and movies around them. Because I think we've seen that a lot in stuff like The Mandalorian and other shows and other Disney properties. Period. So I'm hoping that this show continues like what Andor did and all these others, where it's about the characters and their stories. And sure, it fits into the broader narrative, but it's not there just for the sake of the broader narrative. It's there to tell its own story.
yeah? And this time next week, we shall see. Do they keep doing what you're saying? Do they keep that tone? Do they keep that consistency? We only wait and see.
I certainly hope so. And
Mhm.
if nothing else, hopefully we just keep getting cool scenes and more interesting like mall dark side manipulation going on.
Yes, and get that penguin off my screen, please. Get Vario off my screen. When I see him, I turn my head away.
Oh, I love that guy. He's great.
Oh, he's lovable, but
Little horrible weasel man. Love him.
he's slimy. He is slimy. But hey, I mean, what is Star Wars without the slime? What is
Yeah,
it?
it wouldn't be Star Wars if there wasn't a slimy little like goober alien named like Sleezo Bagudu, who's got some crazy, stupid pistol that'll pull out at something, and then he'll go like, "What?" And like, it wouldn't be Star Wars without that character. So I appreciate that he exists.
Exactly, exactly.